This is Mike Møller Nielsen from Java Code Geeks, and I'm going to teach you how to write clean and efficient Java code by first installing JDK. Fortunately, we have some package managers that will actually help us install and also keep us up to date with the latest JDK version that are out there. There are two major versions, the Oracle and the OpenJDK. In this video, I will show you how to install the OpenJDK with some package managers like Chocolatey and also SDKMAN. Now, complementary to this video tutorial, there are related guides and resources in the description below. Of course, you may also visit Java Code Geeks to stay up to date with everything Java related. If you like this video, then take a minute to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is up. Without any further ado, let's get started. First of all, when we talk about Java, there are actually two versions right now. Oracle has a version made for enterprises, which do not follow the GPL license, which we will come into in just a moment. And then we have the OpenJDK, which follows the general public license, which is more free. And therefore, this is the one I would recommend you to use. But no matter what, if you want Oracle's version, you can go to oracle.com/java/technologies and then Java SE downloads, and then there will be a download and an installation package, and both for Windows and also for Mac. But I would recommend you to use the OpenJDK. And first of all, the big difference is the license. They are actually using the same build from Java 11 and ahead. The general public license, if you're not familiar with that, then it actually is intended to guarantee your freedom to share and change free software, to make sure that the software is free for all its users. So what I'm going to show you today is how to install OpenJDK version. And we are going to use a package manager, and the package manager is called Chocolatey. With Chocolatey, we can actually install a lot of frameworks, but one of the frameworks that we can actually install is Java, the Java Development Kit, the OpenJDK. So the first thing we need to do is to install Chocolatey, and it is very, very easy. I'm running Windows right now, and I'll show you that we just scroll down to, first of all, we go to chocolatey.org/install. And we can sign up for newsletters if you want to in this line right here, but we don't have to. Another thing we can do is that, of course, we need to check that we have the requirements, and it is recommended that we use PowerShell version 2 or later. Then there's a command here in this line right here. We can actually just copy that. So I'll press the copy, then I'll press Windows Start, and I'll search for PowerShell like this. Then I right click on PowerShell, and then I run as administrator. This is very important because the rights as administrator is needed to install Chocolatey and also to install the packages. So then we have a PowerShell right here. I double click to maximize it. Now I can paste the command that we saw on the web page. And now I'll get Chocolatey on my machine. It downloads and installs the latest version, which is currently version 0.10.15. And now I actually have Chocolatey. If I go back to the Chocolatey webpage and go to chocolatey.org/search, then I can write OpenJDK in the search bar right here. And then I'll get some options. The latest version of Java currently is version 15. So if I want to have OpenJDK version 15 installed, then I can just run this command right here. So Chocolatey has made it very convenient and easy to install the OpenJDK. I can actually just press this button right here. Then I'm copying it to the clipboard. I could also press Ctrl+C, of course, to copy this line right here. Let us go back to PowerShell. I'm going to clear the screen so we can see what's going on. And then I'm going to paste the command that I just copied. Choco install OpenJDK. Enter. And do you want to run the script? A big Y for yes. I can also press A for all. For always. So now it's downloading the OpenJDK 64-bit. And it will also set up the path for us, so we do not need to do that manually. It is, of course, also possible to download the JDK manually as a zip file or as a tarball, then extract it to some place on your Windows machine, and then set the path variable, set the environment variable named path to the bin folder inside the JDK folder. But we do not need to do this. Chocolatey will do this for us, which is one of the benefits of using Chocolatey. It's downloading, and it has reached 133 megabyte out of 186 megabyte. And currently the JDK, OpenJDK releases a new version every 6 months. And the latest long-time support version is version 11 right now. But we are using version 15 to get, so we can use all the new features. So right here, we can actually see it. We have path environment variable does not have the program files, OpenJDK, JDK 15.01 bin in it, adding it. So this is awesome. To use the Java version from the OpenJDK, we need to close the PowerShell and then open it up again. PowerShell. And again, I recommend opening it as an administrator, because if you want to install some things, then we can actually do that without any problems. So then I can write Java -version. And here we can see I have the OpenJDK version 15.01. I can also write Java C, which is Java compile, and that is actually the important one, because we want to, as a developer, we want to compile our code. Another thing is that we can actually use the JShell, which came recently with Java. If we want to try out and create our first program in JShell, we can try out the programming language and see what is possible. We can create an integer, myInt, and we can set it to maybe 10. I do not need to end the line with a semicolon when we're using the JShell. I can just press enter, and the variable that we mentioned on the line will then be repeated by the shell. Now, because I have defined myInt, then I can say myInt, and then I can multiply it by 10. But since I did not set this to any variable, then the JShell actually created a new variable named $2 instead. So I can actually use $2 from here, and then I can say int my second int equals 2, and then I can say $2, and then I can multiply this with the first integer if I want to try that. And if I want to write the semicolon just because it's a good habit, or it's my habit, then of course it's okay. Then I can also write that. So now I have my second int, which is now equal to 1000. Of course, I can also play with strings. Name equals Mike. And then I can add to my name if I want to, Møller, like this, and now I have my name right there. Again, I did not assign the result to it, so therefore it will actually name has been assigned. So name, if I write system.out.println, and then my name is, then let's see what happens. My name is Mike Møller, and there are some problems with the local characters right now in the shell, but that is okay. We just want to see that we actually have Java installed, and then we can use it to write some code. I'm going to exit again now. The good thing about Chocolatey, it also showed you which location that actually installed it into, because that is usually needed. If you're using IntelliJ or Eclipse, then you need to point to a JDK when you're writing your first program. Now, this was for Microsoft Windows. Let us try with Linux Mint and also Mac. And here I would recommend a package manager called SDKMAN. It is awesome. It can install a lot of things for us. It can install Gradle and also Java and Maven and there's a lot of other things that it can actually install for us. I'm going to focus on the JDK part right here. First of all, we need to install SDKMAN. So if you go to sdkman.io/install, then we can then we install it by running these commands right here. First of all, we need to run this command right here, curl, and then the get.sdkman.io in a terminal. So I'll just open up a terminal, which I have right here. Then I can paste in the curl command. I have already updated SDKMAN, so it will just say that I've already installed SDKMAN, so it will just say that it is already installed. If I want to update it, I can also update it like this, SDK update. That is actually, but you have a new version is available. Do you want to install it? Then I can just press enter. So there were actually a newer version available now. And it's always good to keep your SDKMAN up to date, because in that way you will also keep your JDKs up to date. Then I can write a command. I'll just clear the screen. So then I can write SDK. Then I can write list and then Java. This will then list the Java versions that I can choose between. Let me just start a new terminal right here, because I just installed SDK Java list. SDK list Java. SDK list Java, like this. And here it came. I'll just close the first terminal. So after installation, you need to start a new terminal when you are dealing with SDKMAN, because it has an initialization script. This one right here. And we can also run that like this. And what this will do is that it would actually add to your bash RC file, or to your, if you're using OpenJDK shell as I am, then it will add a line which enables the SDKMAN to be known when you start up your shell. So that means that SDK is known for me, and I can also write version, SDK version. Without the minus, like this, SDK version like this, then I get the current version that I'm running. But let us get back to Java here. So I'll write SDK list Java like this. And here I get a lot of Java distribution. That is because when we're dealing with OpenJDK, then there are some companies that actually maintain and distribute, make sure that we can download the different versions of Java. And one of my favorite one is Azul. This one right here. So I would like to try to install that. There's also three arrows right here. We have 3 arrows right here, or 3 greater than signs. And this shows actually the current version that I've installed on my system right now. So that means that if I write Java minus version, then I get the Java version, which is 11 right now. And I would actually like to update to version 15. And that is quite easy with SDKMAN, because what I do is that I go find the version that I like. This one right here. Then I will right click copy. And then I'll write SDK, install, and then Java, and then space, and then the version of Java that I actually want to install. In progress, it is installing. And let's see what happens now. Repackaging Java Zulu. And now it's installing. Do you want to set it as default? Yes, I would also like to set it as default. That means that if I write Java now, minus version, then now I have version 15 installed. That is pretty cool. All of the versions are placed under, if you go to your home folder, then you can go to .SDKMAN. In here, we have a folder called candidates like this. Here I can again list my files. Here I have Java candidates. And here we can actually see how the system actually works. We have a Java 15.01 right here, Zulu. And then we have a current symbolic link, which actually points to 15.01 Zulu. And actually, I could actually choose between all of these different Java distributions right here if I want to. But right now, I just want to use the current one, version 15. If I wanted to use IntelliJ, and if I wanted to create a new project, I could easily do that by pressing New Project. And if you haven't dealt with the Spring Initializer before, or the Spring, if you haven't created a Spring project or Spring app before, then I would definitely recommend that you start there, because it's it gives us modularity, and it's very easy to use. I already have some Java versions installed right here, and you can actually also ask IntelliJ to download your JDK. So that means that this is another way to install JDK. Just ask IntelliJ to install it. I like to control it through SDKMAN, so I know which version I have also in my terminal. But I can add a new JDK by pressing this button right here. Add JDK, and then I need to go to my home folder. Then I'll go to my Mike's folder, and then I'll say, because it's a hidden folder, then it's .SDKMAN like this. And then I will find my candidates right here, Java. And here we have 15.01, it's right there. It just needs to refresh. 15.01 Zulu, that's the new version. And right now I have two JDKs. I have one that is not 15.01, but which is just 15. Now I have my 15.01. That's why it says number 2 in the brackets right there. Let me press next, and now I can create my Spring project. Maven and Gradle are excellent for handling dependencies. And then we have the Java version right here. Let us just choose 15 right here. Then press next. Then I like Lombok. If you haven't tried that, I would say that you should try that out. The video is not about it, but it will save you a lot of time writing boilerplate code. And then I say Spring Web. So now we have those two modules, Lombok and Spring Web. That means that now I can actually have a web application that can be started up very easily with my Java code. What should we call this? Let us call this Java 15 up and running. Enter. And because we're using Gradle, then the dependencies that we used, they will automatically be downloaded. Here we have the dependencies in my build.gradle file. And we have a demo application right here. And we have a public static void main, which actually spins up a web application that we can use. With Spring, it's very easy to create a REST controller, for instance, and expose REST endpoints. So I can just show you how easy it actually is with a Hello World demonstration right here. So if I create a new Java class like this, and I'll call this Hello World REST controller like this, then I can annotate this with REST controller. Okay, it still has some dependencies that it needs to download. Then I can write the request mapping. This is the endpoint. Where should we start? That could just be hello. And here we could create a method that returns a string. Again, we just name this hello. Hello world or Java version works. And here we can see that now IntelliJ has done indexing all of the libraries. And then we have this, now we have this REST controller right here. And then I can start my demo application by pressing the run button up here. Run. It compiles the Java with the SDK that we just downloaded and chose. After compiling it, then it runs our Spring Boot application. And look right here. It is powered by Tomcat still, right here, and it runs on port 8080. So I'll go out in the browser, then I'll write localhost 8080, and I'll write /hello. And let us just see. I forgot one thing that I'll just add right here. I need to have that this should be a get mapping, like this. And then that means that this method right here will then be mapped to this endpoint here first, hello, and then a / right here. And that means that I need to restart the application like this, stop and rerun. And here we have the Spring Boot application that runs, and it runs on the default port 8080. I'll go back to my browser, write hello again. And here we have it, hello world, or Java version works. So we just made our first web application with Java 15, with JDK 15.01 that we just downloaded with SDKMAN and installed with SDKMAN. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to smash the like button and to subscribe to this channel because we have a lot of cool things coming up. Bye.